Hi, I'm Phoenix. I want to extend what I mentioned at the Poverty of Truth meeting today. I'm sharing my story of how the benefit system has failed me. The PIP system failed me as my mental health was not taken into consideration. I had mental health since I was 13 years old, which I diagnosed with depression, learning disabilities, which are special needs, anxieties, and on the autistic spectrum. Mental health got worse two, two, 2 years ago. This included borderline personality disorder, post-traumatic stress, and because I'm going through a gender change, I have gender dysphoria. The reason for those new included mental health diagnosis because I was subject to hate crime from past neighbours, and I basically got hate crime through the neighbours by subject of abuse mentally and then physically as well. And what traumatized me was one of the neighbours thought I did something to their family, and while I was on the phone, my flat was broken into, and now it's still impacts me today because I'm still scared of looking over my shoulder due to the fact I was subject to one of my neighbours who moved purposely near me, who's not here anymore, thank God, that her son decided to go behind me and kick me in the head and grazed my chin, which it bled. But the system of the police is not so great because I wasn't taken seriously of my hate crime, transphobia, and other mental health issues. Nothing's been done. They took this person's side rather than mine. And that's why I was diagnosed with gender dysphoria, borderline personality disorder, post-traumatic stress, and which would included in the ones I was diagnosed 13 years ago, when I was 13. I mean, right now I had massive highs and lows, not really a steady misery. Sometimes I find it hard to sleep, having suicidal thoughts, sometimes very intrusive, sometimes I go into a Jekyll and Hyde mode, where my personality changes, and also mood swings, where I wanted to hurt people and myself. And then most of the time I saw my GP and needed support through Steps to Wellbeing and Christchurch Mental Health team, but they never helped. I did do their courses, still didn't help. I also go to the Dorset Health Mental Forum and and the recovery centre in Harrington. in Hampton Road, sorry, which I had to do video consultation due to the COVID situation. I do have medication that I have, but I feel like I'm a walking pill because I'm on sertraline, quetiapine, amitriptyline, and my Testigel, which is Tosteran. I also have hay fever, so I have various hay fever to help me with high pollen, and vitamins to help me with my deficiency. I considered PIP for the first time when I wanted to apply. I applied for it. I had got help fill out the form once I received it in a few weeks. I sent it off, and another few weeks came by to hear an appointment. Once I got the appointment, which was at the job centre in Bournemouth. Once I got the appointment and went to the job centre for the assessment for my PIP, my assessor was not very helpful, not very friendly, which put me in an unseen feelings and situation. Once in the assessment, I was asked questions to extend on form filled out. Some felt uneasy to answer, but forced to tell clearly didn't care how it would make me feel. The assessor wasn't interested in my mental health, but more about my physical side of things. I told them I had scoliosis of the spine, so not easy to bend down, had pain in my knees, hands, feet, but doing chores. Doing chores wasn't easy, but it didn't stop me from trying. I went for all scans and no sign of anything. I went to physiotherapy, nothing helped. And my initial thought, I've got early stages of arthritis, or it's connected to my spine with the nerves. But this didn't stop me because it was only the mental issues were more important. My mental health is draining than my physical, as it found stressful and hard to talk about clearly, like now. Once the assessment was over, I was very, very exhausted, felt drained, I felt stressed, my emotions were kind of high, and I felt like screaming, but because I'm in a public place, I didn't want to draw attention. So I went home to relax. A couple of weeks later, heard back from them, and not so surprised, I hadn't been qualified the PIP payment. I did appeal to the courts, which was near the hospital in Castle Lane. I had got a lift from my friend who was there to support me, and at the time I was on a walking stick, which sometimes I use to help me walk. But I'm trying to give that up, so I'm not depending on it. But to no avail, they thought that PIP was right. So that made me more stressed, more anxious, and unwell. This happened again when I reapplied in the 2 months after the first. PIP system does not work for mental health problems. It isn't conducive to help people like me mentally. One good side is I am on universal credit, but the downside, I need more money, like PIP, to help me keep afloat financially, as I can't work due to the various mental health I've got, like I mentioned earlier, and the physical side of things, and due to my gender change, because work, if I went to work, I get discriminated or get hate crime through them and transphobic remarks, and I didn't want that affect me. So I decided to be who I am now and just take day as she comes. Department of Work and Pensions inform people to help access, rather finding out from a GP psychiatrist, which they should, because it would help them get more insight to the mental health and a better understanding on the patient's needs. And then possibly that would have helped me with my PIP form, and I would have got PIP by now. I have a few friends that have PIP, and they have this sort of similar things to me, and they got it, which is just ironically unfair. My dealing with the PIP benefit system hasn't given me faith to reapply again, because I know the outcome will be the same, and I didn't want to put myself through stress. I only do it if this benefit system is fair, safe, and kind. So I'm waiting for a future of disability benefits, so sanctions cycle end of assessments by giving a choice how they happen, regulate who makes the decisions on the benefits, and let physical, mentally, or both disabilities make and control a better system. That system would be fairer, less stressful, and less of an unease to put more your health and mine included at no risk. Till that day come, the PIP and other benefit systems, like people like myself, have failed